Hello, my name is Phil Owens, and I'm the Vice President of Customer Solutions at Stamus Networks. And I am here to talk to you about an integration that we are performing with Infoblox and the Stamus Security Platform. And this integration is the ability to download and ingest into the Stamus Security Platform the active indicators or threat intelligence from the BloxOne platform. And this is utilizing API commands to make that happen. You'll notice that there's about 26 million hosts in the list, and you're able to download those, ingest those into Stamus Security Platform, which is an NDR platform, network detection and response, to be able to see actual connectivity to any of the domains that might be listed in the Infoblox threat intelligence. And we do this a couple of ways. So I'm going to go over to the Stamus Security Platform and show you there is a deployment guide associated with this video, and I recommend you look at that, maybe contact your support rep at Stamus Networks so that we can help you with this integration. And when the integration is complete, what you will have is under the sources section, two brand new sources. One of those is a static rules list, which are the rules that are actually going to fire should something show up in the Infoblox threat intelligence. If I edit this source, basically what's required is you do need a web server to be able to run a Python script for this integration to take place. That integration uses the API calls to BloxOne in order to download the details. And again, all of this is detailed in the deployment guide that accompanies this video. So once this is complete, you're able to add it to a rule set, and then anytime this rule set is updated through the periodic tasks within the Stamus Security Platform, the threat intelligence will be updated. So all of the hosts will be updated based off the data that is brought down by that Python script. Now, what makes this really interesting is the ability to actually see connectivity that has taken place to domains that might be on the Infoblox threat intelligence. Why is that interesting? Well, I'm sure that there's probably some places where you don't necessarily wish to block all of the threat intelligence that Infoblox is producing. Some of that may be suspicious and not actually bad, and you want to see if things are really happening. So in order to see if anything is actually firing, we can do a quick look at a filter. And what I've done here is method Infoblox. So I just pulled down and created method, typed in Infoblox, and we can see I have two events that have fired in this case that have actually hit that Infoblox list. So this is very interesting. We can also see some geo IP. You'll also notice this is an HTTP request, which means that beyond the actual DNS query, there was actually an HTTP connection. And we can dive deeper into this by looking in the events section of U40 of the platform, and even dive deeper to see that, in fact, this was an HTTP connection, where it went out to, and scrolling down, see some printable payload. In this case, very interesting. It turns out that it is an executable download over HTTP that we're seeing. Now, you might see HTTP, you may see TLS SNI, you could even see DNS requests that are taking place within the Stamus Security Platform. So this is where it really comes into play. The fact that there was, in fact, a connection to a host that was listed in the Infoblox BloxOne Threat Intelligence feed. Also, the other thing that I want to point out is that once you got a filter in place, you can actually create a declaration of compromise for that. I have already done it, and this will escalate this event to allow for more response capabilities within the product. So anytime a declaration of compromise fires, it can fire a webhook within the Stamus Security Platform. And you'll notice here we have that Infoblox threat info that takes place right here. Now what I'm able to do is dive deeper into the timeline to see how this played out. And this is really interesting from this perspective, as I'm able to maybe zoom out here a little bit so that you can see how everything played. So in this particular attack that we've played in this demo environment, you'll notice that Infoblox threat intel happens to be green. And had I been blocking the DNS queries to the domain that was listed or the host listed, we may have actually stopped the rest of this attack from taking place. But in this case, it wasn't blocked. It was only being looked at, and we were able to trigger based off of this particular event. The other thing that could happen is the fact that by escalating it, it would generate the webhook, and that webhook could have also caused a block to take place, maybe in a firewall or in an EDR, or maybe just alerting the SOC that, hey, there was a hit on the Infoblox threat intelligence. So that's some ways that you would be able to utilize this particular integration. We look forward to doing more integrations with Infoblox in the future, and just stay tuned as we start to roll those out. Thank you very much. And again, my name is Phil Owens. I'm the Vice President of Customer Solutions at Stamus Networks, and I appreciate your time watching the video.